We are in obviously reindeer, bear, wolf country, and where we've parked we can see there's major signs of roots, and then we noticed some reindeer. At about 3/4 of a mile to a mile, we managed to pull in and find a really nice little camping spot for the night. It's only 3 o'clock, so I said I'm going to get wrapped up and head back into the woods and hopefully find this herd of reindeer. I mean, they've all kind of split up into patches. We saw 2 lots. We saw a group of 2 and a group of I think 4 or 5, but that was about a mile or so up the road. But I'm now hoping that speak to you before I get a trek on, and I'm going to see if we can find them. Well, I've reached this clearing. I mean, it's not really a clearing, but it's much more open compared to the woods I've just been walking through for the last 20 minutes. And I've got a good view here. I can see a fair distance, so I'm going to spend 5-10 minutes just deal with my binoculars. See if I can see any movement amongst the trees. If not, I'll head on back the way we were coming. I'm just trying to keep it quite low. Nothing I can see for the next 1/4 of a mile, I guess. But then the trees start getting quite thick again. So the reason why it's so clear of trees is that it's kind of swampland. So musky, however they pronounce it. So I've got to try and skirt around it. And then I'm going to head into the trees. So let's try that. I'm coming up to this little plateau of trees. Following the deer trail. And I'm hoping when I get to them, I'll get a good view of the next kind of 1/4 of a mile section. Right, let's have a look. You can see quite solid run lines for the deer. Well, I'm hoping it's the deer that have made those. Found plenty of deer poop, so I'm being a little bit assumptive, but we can work with that. Right, well, I've come up to a river. It's clearly where the deer are crossing. It's a bit too deep for my boots, so I'm gonna I'll try and walk along it a bit. And I either hope there is still some on this side, or I can see them with the camera on the other side. And the flies are out already. Right. It's getting a bit boggy and wet underfoot, but plenty of signs of deer. Reindeer. Not just any normal deer. Bit of a specialist breed. That sun's warm. And I tell you what, this makes me want to have a paddle, even a swim, in fact. Let me show you. Well, we're now supposed to be in a moose and bear hotspot. I'm happy if I just find reindeer, to be honest. But of course it'd be like, of course it would be nice to see either bear or moose. Moose I'd expect to see more around the waters than the woodlands, especially on a warm day. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled and my fingers crossed. I'm finding so many tracks, but they all tend to lead down to some real squishy, boggy, musky sections that are just too squishy for my boots. Should have packed my wellies. Okay, I found two. They weren't moving, and I kind of stumbled across them. They're so well camouflaged in here. I'm going to keep down, keep low, keep quiet. See if I can get some photos and some video. When I was watching them, I put the phone down, picked up my camera, couldn't see them. Picked up my binoculars, I could see them, I followed them, and then they disappeared into the woods. Just disappeared. I'm going to sit here for a bit and see if they reappear. Now I don't wear my varifocal glasses when I'm looking for wildlife because it's easier to use my camera and my binoculars without. Plus I get better peripheral vision for movement than wearing glasses. But when I'm not wearing glasses, details aren't that sharp. And I wonder what I stumbled across. Let me show you. Thought it was a giant chicken or turkey or God knows what. I wonder what the law is about bringing antlers from Sweden to England. Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I wonder? Go in the direction I thought. See if I can get some pictures and a bit of footage. Try and get a bit closer. See them from a distance. Two of them. And as I filmed them, one carried on going, the other one started turning towards me. So I just wedged myself by this rock, and he ended up coming so close, that I managed to put my camera down, pick up my mobile phone and start filming. As soon as it made the noise, he looked at me, and then he started to wander off. Not in any particular rush or hurry, but definitely on the move. Well, that's what I've dreamed about doing for a long time, tracking and following wild reindeer in Sweden. Now, although all deer in Sweden actually belong to Sami, they still roam free. So you can't get too close to them. I've realised that over the last few days. I think they've still got their fair amount of fear in them for humans. Either it's darting them to tag them or shooting them to eat them. They're still fairly timid. More timid than the ones we've been to visit in Scotland. And where the whole experience was just superb. In a very different climate and environment than I'm used to. My mobile internet doesn't work. I have got no satellite signal because, well, I've probably got a satellite signal, just didn't bring my GPS, and I have a rough idea of the way back. It's taken me about 3 hours to get here, so I'm hoping when I'm in more of a mission to just get back, it won't take as long. I can still see him in the distance because I can hear his tendons clicking. I think I'm going to leave it there and get back to the van. If you've liked today's video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and if you don't subscribe, I'd really like you to. If you've had any amazing experiences with wildlife in nature, then leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.